How you doing?
May you be radiant too.
Yes, yes. Speaking of radiance, today's card, we're covering the idea of elevation. This is associated with the third eye, and the maxim is greatest defense against darkness is to fill yourself up with light so that you don't become part of the darkness.
Uh,
This is what is needed in this time. So we're going to be diving into this because there's a lot happening on the planet and there's a lot of gravitational pull.
yes.
And it's not just with world events, but we are experiencing it on multiple levels. Family members are experiencing it. It's likely you're experiencing it within arm's reach, which all requires us to grow. But there is a pull.
Yes.
There's this gravitation that we have to know how to offset it. But we'll be diving into that. So before we begin, just a couple of announcements. It's everything is everything because we are currently in the midst of two different classes that are focused on energetic protection, reclaiming your sovereignty, calling back your power, which all deals with the light. And so you're currently in soul translation,
I
reclaim your
am.
sovereignty, and day one, pretty solid, I must
Yes.
say, laying down the understandings that's needed.
Yes.
You have any thoughts initially?
And the idea of being able to get back what is yours that you have erroneously let slip away from you or let be absconded or stolen from you or given away in ignorance is a wonderful idea. It's an opportunity for you to gain back all of your power that you have frittered away so that you can direct it towards your own highest and best interests.
Yeah, that's right. Stop fittering away that power.
Yes.
Yeah, so day 2 and 3 is next week Tuesday. So we're going to continue going through the actual practices, and this is something that people can do regularly. This is not just a one-time thing because we are constantly living in a world where people are trying to force us to agree and be bound to contracts to pull and take our life force. How
Yes.
many memberships have they signed you up for? How many of them are really giving you something real back? You know what I mean? So it's so ever pervasive, but again, we are in the solution.
Yes. And the terms and conditions you may not be absolutely in agreement with the many terms and conditions that you're.
We're never in agreement. We just be like, I guess no one's going to read it. And they know.
Right.
However, let's call that power back.
Yes, absolutely. So that soul translation, regain your power, is very much, no, I'm not really, I didn't understand the terms and conditions. I didn't agree to them. And if I did, I didn't mean to. I'd like to have my power back. Yes.
Run that.
Yes.
And so today we have energetic protection and defense, which we are covering some of again, as usual, day one is primarily focused on. I gotta find another word for theory because it's not a theory, it's a fact. It's like the
Oh, no.
mechanics of our universe,
Right.
the laws and principles that support us in the understanding of how we protect ourselves. But when we don't know, we get hurt.
Yes. You need the equations.
That's right, the
Yeah.
mathematics.
Yes.
So we'll be laying down the foundation. Of course, there's techniques, but the card, it has a slogan that's actually one of the Call for the Truth divination cards, and it reads, "You protect yourself by knowing who you are. Know who you are." Period. And so we're going to be diving into who are you, and the universal principles that support that understanding and the practices of energetic protection. Because I'm sure you have had experiences of calling forth protection and still getting bopped upside the head energetically or psychically. So we'll be teaching you how to keep and offset those things, but also, you know, how to protect you from you,
Yes.
because we're the ones allowing and giving consent.
And that's really the secret. That's the clarity. Those who don't want to see, well, it's all, they're always outsourcing their center of gravity to someone else. It was their fault. They did it to me. That's where you get stuck in that dynamic. Yeah.
My mind's going into conversations I've had with people who were fighting to defend the victimhood, like no, and trying to list all the different excuses, what about isms about being the victim and suffering, and it's like, I'm sorry, and I had to lay the mathematics, I had to lay the algorithms, the equations for her.
It is comforting to think that everything belongs to someone else. It is also thoroughly disempowering.
Very much so.
Yes.
So it's a sure shot way to stay within your suffering and keep getting bopped upside the head.
Yes.
So, all right, today we're having a class, and it's again, if someone wants to hop in, this is an entry level class, so no prerequisites are needed. You can visit the Other Sun website; it's on the homepage. If there's someone who wants to audit, just let us know, shoot us an email, and the price is in half for the auditors. And just a handful of other announcements. Quantum Light Property Clearing is making its way back in the month of April. So for anyone who has been doing their prerequisites, energy hygiene, energetic protection and defense, if you need that prerequisite, you can take it today. One mind reconnection, sun calibration to learn how to receive information from the field, yes and no responses, then you are ready. So jump in. And this modality is unique to Of the Sun because it is teachings, again, so in tandem with everything that we do. Sovereignty, authority, dominion over your space. Because again, once you know who you are, you start realizing, oh my gosh, I am in Lakesh. I'm my space. I'm my community. Let me get a grasp on this. Let me influence, let me expand my influence in the environment. And so we're going to be teaching you how to do that. And it's an 8-day course running for 4 weeks. So all the information is on the website. But if you do have questions on how to join Quantum Light Property Clearing, or if you are in need of a Quantum Light Property Clearing, and if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call or email? So you got any thoughts on property clearing?
Oh, I have so many. I'm in such reverence and respect for the gift of property clearing in our world. It gives humanity an opportunity and a modality in which we can be of service by clearing, and then it is of service to us. It's everything. It's the whole package. It's high fidelity.
Yes,
It's
yes.
it's the gift and it's the accuracy. It's really the high experience that there's never a point at which you don't go deeper. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm constantly learning how the universe works by moving into the space to be of service to clear for self and others.
Well, certainly.
Yeah, it's great.
So I know this isn't a property clearing podcast right now, but for those who are interested, check out one of the live streams that Diane of the Sun did in Lakesh Studio, High Frequency Living, in Lakesh Frequencies. Get those frequencies. And she did a live stream with myself, Lauren, and Tiffany of the
Yeah.
Sun. These are practitioners who they're seasoned, marinated, dry rub, it's well done. And we were all discussing various aspects of quantum light property clearing, just sharing our passion and true stories. And so we're continuing to do this every fourth Friday of the month. This will be a live stream. So again, for anybody who might want interest in having a quantum light property clearing, jump into the live streams. Actually, check out one of the previous live streams that was done. And this will be every fourth Friday, so stay tuned for that. And also, Diane, she's doing every second and third Friday the Call for the Truth Divination group card
Yes.
pool. Themes to look at throughout your week. So that's a good opportunity for community. And you can catch her on Wednesdays, as of yesterday, 12 noon, for the midday meditation at 12 noon. So get your little energetic bump up throughout the day.
Highly recommended.
That's right. So this concludes our announcement. So again, everyone, welcome in Lakesh and Veritas. We see there's a number of you here. There's a number of you all in the chat. And I just want to give a quick acknowledgement, just a quick little rundown. Just going to shout your names out just to let you know we see you, we feel you, and we appreciate you. Sending the great big in Lakesh and Veritas to Lay Leoneri, Stacy of the Sun, Cannabis Nurse Laura, Delilah Burrows, Cannabis Nurse Laura, she's up in here. She's like, there is a dark pool. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. We're going to go deeper into that. Ilakesh Studio 1 is here. Lauren Cornell is here. Stephanie Singletary. The Central Tribe is here. Yeah, so welcome everyone. And anyone who is not in the chat, we see you, we feel you. And so again, today's card pool, our topic is elevation. Greatest defense against darkness is to fill yourself up with light so that you don't become part of the darkness. And again, I wanted to present the topic around the idea of what we're experiencing in our world is dark, it's deconstructing, it's Epstein files. They talk about releasing files for aliens. We don't need their their validation. We already know. We
Right.
talk to them. It's all good. But we see things happening, breaking down the timeline split. But there's a pool that's taking place. Where would you like to start with this, Lota?
I think I'd like to start with knowing who you are, which is the understanding beneath what happens with you maintaining your light. If you know that you that you as the light, the shine, the sun, if you are the generator of sun, then you are the generator of shadow, and shadow cannot negotiate with you.
Interesting
You
perspective.
created shadow by being the sun. So in your light, there is shadow, but the shadow can't just jump up and decide it's going to run somewhere else or go do something else. The shadow is a reaction to the sun, and it is not the arbitrator of it, nor is it someone that it can't negotiate. It can't say, well, be the shadow. Like, no, I'm the sun. It exists. Shadow exists. Sun exists. But what is the position? Sun creates what makes a shadow. So the shadow does not have an opportunity to negotiate with the sun, but we allow that. We allow the shadow to tell us what to eat, what to do, what to. We allow the shadow
Yeah.
in our world, in the current events of our world, the shadow is telling us how to feel. Be afraid. They're going to bomb us. They're going to lock us down. They're going to not feed us. That's the shadow talking.
Yes. I'm trying to hold back jokes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. All right. So hearing this always comes up, but a case of identity. Who are you?
Yes.
And who have we allowed to inform us of who we are? Why have we taken that script?
Why did you are the light. As a response to the light, you have a shadow. And the shadow is trying to share with you how you should behave and what you should do, and what you should eat and what you should wear, and how many wigs you should have, and how many times you should shave your head, and how many surgeries you should have. But you're the sun. You know, it is not possible for the shadow to negotiate with the sun if the sun remembers who it is.
Okay, so all right, now how do we remember who we are?
So
Because we've forgotten the face of our Father
we have
and our
most
mother.
certainly forgotten, and the sun is the divine masculine. It points to direction and purpose that's given to the divine feminine, which is the earth, or all, or air, or water, or we
All
are
the
all of
elements
that.
that's part of the
Yeah,
earth.
that's all divine feminine. But the sun is necessary, and part of that, and giving respect to that, we are the Father's baby son. We are the baby son.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like little baby son.
Yeah, like you the baby son.
That's right.
So the other elements or the other expansions of what takes place on the earth, if we know who we are, everything stays in balance. But when we lose who we are, then we start thinking that the shadow's in charge. You know, that we're supposed to do what the shadow says. That it is the shadow that makes the 5G. It is the shadow that makes pharmaceuticals. It is not the sun. The sun makes rainforests. The sun makes telepathy. The sun makes smoke signals. The sun makes a lot of ways to communicate that don't hurt you. But the shadow makes ways to, we can do it faster and easier and more convenient, and we can make money off of it. So if you recognize what it is and embrace what, and give reverence and respect to what creation has given us, it becomes quite simple to know what direction to move in. But if you have no reverence for that, and that often happens with immature souls, where there's just no reverence for, oh, well, that sun is always up there. This
Yeah, it
is
just
new.
is.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is new. Like the dirt is always beneath my feet. Why do I need to be respectful of the dirt? because it will ground you. And then you will ground under the sun. And then the uh, negative ions and the positive ions will strengthen you. And then you can be part of nature.
So this is a very, I would say, like core foundational concepts associated with ways to fill yourself up with light. Again, so that you don't become part of the darkness. Funny enough, artificial lighting is dark
Yes.
in terms of its influence on our vibratory field, and how it again it impacts all levels of our being, the biology, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It stunts us. So getting out in the sun, touching the earth, it recalibrates us. It allows us to raise up out of essentially the negative impression of the ever pervasive darkness.
We have been tricked and trapped into misunderstandings to be afraid of the sun because our lifestyles, if we're filled up with parasites or we're filled up with inappropriately digested meats that are rotting in our colon, the sun will start to work on that and you will be very uncomfortable. But if you can get to a level of cleanliness and clarity, then the sun will support you in that and allow you to be the beautiful creation that you are. But there is so much that has happened in what we take in and what we think that is so against the creation and the divinity and the exaltation of who we actually are, that we've been sold this bill of goods that if you go in the sun will hurt you. But this is your planet, this is your sun. If you operate within harmony within your planet and your sun, then the sun will support you. It's not to be blacked out. It's not to be stay inside, don't let the sun get you because it'll kill you. It's not like that. It's just that our lifestyles don't support this aspect of creation that is in support of us.
Most certainly. When I hear you say this about the blacking out, my mind goes to all the different ways of how darkness or anti-life is attempting to get the attention
Yes.
to participate.
Yes.
And so it's like, I made this joke. We were in conversation, and I said, "Oh, I feel like everything right now in the field that is anti-life, that's part of the deconstruction that I'm personally looking to extract myself from. It's like, hey, 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 and it's jumping, bouncing around, like, look over here, look over there, and come on, come on, come on." And it's so desperate, but for me, it feels like it's a sign and an indicator of the deconstruction.
I think it's a reality. It is desperate because the timeline is still splitting. We are coming to the end of that time shortly. The planet is still shifting into another dimension. People will have to decide, and if anti-life can influence you by look over here, you may miss your opportunity to decide rightly. And then you may end up moving into a situation that you don't have full control, and anti-life, you have negotiated with that which is irrelevant for you to negotiate with.
So let's talk a little bit deeper about that because, again, everyone's at a crossroad. I think everyone is seeing it, and we see this on every level. It's likely you're at a crossroad within your relationships, with your health, with your finances, with your purpose, your career, humanity. Just looking in the Western world, we're at a crossroad. We're finding out finally the general populace is aware of the atrocious things that have been happening. Our government doesn't have our back. We're at a crossroad. Humanity in general is at a crossroad, spiritually. But there's still like an enticement until there is not. Would you speak a little bit about like different ways, like how, first off, like how to perceive what's happening, but then how can people address that, or find the congruency? Because like I'm watching it within myself, having to say, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm going to do this instead. But I also know that if I know what's required for me to do it, and sometimes it requires me to not eat. To, and when I say not eat, I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about abstaining from other forms of stimuli, video, audio. Sometimes I just need to be in the silence. Sometimes I just need to breathe. I need to be out in the sun. Sometimes I need to just focus on doing what will help me move forward, not leisurely watching something or playing something. So, but again, I can see the gravitational pull. So, like, what are some things that people can do to kind of find that congruency, to do what their soul knows it needs?
There's so much variance in how people are cultivated. The ones who want the richness of the experience of creation, who will examine each thing. They examine, like, what's in my kitchen? Is there a microwave in there? Why do I have a microwave already installed in my kitchen when I rent or buy a place? What is that there for? What's behind that? Other countries ban them and don't allow them because they don't want their populations to be influenced by that. What is happening when you turn on the electricity and the light bulbs are not the right light bulbs for humans to progress? What is behind that when we know the science tells us and the microwave says don't use it? That it will, if you stay away from it if you're pregnant or having a baby, when surely somebody has been pregnant with you and you have been a baby. So,
Look,
so,
it's common sense ain't common.
so it's
like-
the same with the light bulbs. The light bulbs are, we know, and there are light bulbs that are sold that are the right light bulbs, but all the houses have the wrong light bulbs, unless you go out of your way. We know that the electrical outlets are out, the output in the electricity, the EMF that's coming out of it, is at the wrong frequency. This is known, and it's been known all of my life. It's been known, but all of the houses are still done that way. The glass that we look out of, that's out in our windows, is not the right thing. So everything is like that.
Yeah.
So we're living in a world where now we're being challenged to research, to know, to understand that we have to fight for our light.
On that note, for the person listening, because I often see it in comments online, people are like, "Oh," it basically this emotion or feeling that this is so hard. There's so much, and I'm like, yeah, look how much of ourselves we've given up. Look how much of our reality, our power, or consent we've given to have them kill us. Yeah, and I think it's a wake-up call, but at the same time, I think about there's one of these cards in this deck that's titled Motivation, and it's for the 8th chakra. You were born for this.
Yeah.
You were born for this,
Yeah.
and I often have to remind myself, I'm here. It's in front of me. I can do it. I can do it. I've done some other things. Why can't I do this?
Right.
So like this perspective of like how can we stay adhered to that truth?
Well, it really has to do with the value. What do you value? Do you value what you have? You are the most valuable piece of technology. Your body is the most valuable piece of technology on the planet. We talk about this in the class I'm
often,
teaching.
yeah.
Everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody wants a little bit of you,
That's
and
right.
everybody's conspiring, right, to get a little bit of you in every possible way. Not so much people, but institutions, the Pledge of Allegiance, the oaths you take, the vows you take. Everybody wants a piece of that energy because the energy doesn't stop once you consent.
Yeah.
It continues through a lifetime.
It's a subscription.
It's a subscription. It's like high blood pressure. You take it till you die. It doesn't cure you. You take it until you expire, which is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
So everything is like that. So if we had as much value for us as the things that are trying to get us, if we could think of it that way, that the things that are trying to connect to us, the tentacles that are trying to get us to agree to the terms and conditions, the things that are trying to get us to buy the thing, to go to the place, to support the idea, to do all of that, those agreements are the things that take from us bits and pieces and tiny little bits. And this is why I'm teaching the class about it, and it comes into play here, because if we know who we are, we're like, no, I think I'll keep my terms and my conditions. I think I will not make a vow forever with you. I think I'll maybe take a 10-minute lunch with you, not give you my whole life,
Yeah.
you know. So what is happening is that it is such a background that we don't hear it. We don't hear that, oh, that's something trying to plug into me. And I've already got 20 plugs into me,
Yeah.
you know, through family, friends, lovers, jobs, bank accounts, all of those kinds of things. Every time you buy a ticket, what is it that you were telling me last week? Like they were asking you for your email. You're like, no, you were in a store.
So I go to Sprouts sometimes for a few things. And when you get to the register, they ask you for your phone number, and I often say, no, ma'am, no, sir, I don't have it. I'm not a part of it. Your club. I don't say it like that, but I. It's so weird because it's as though the people there are agents, and they feel a sense of remorse or sadness that I am not participating, and they try to convince me, oh, but you're gonna save, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I
That's
just want to
another
pay.
psyop.
I
That's
just want to
saving.
pay whatever the price is and leave. I don't want to join your club. I don't want to be. I'm already part of clubs that I'm working my way through
That you get.
exiting. This is another one, and I remember there was a guy at the register, an older gentleman, and he said something, and it was such a phrase of self-defeat. And I was like, I refuse that reality, or I reject that. He said, oh, it's not like they don't already have your information. I said, it's that type of attitude that got us in the circumstance we're in right now.
Yeah.
And I just left it at that. I didn't go any deeper.
Yeah.
But it was just like, no, man, you're not going to catch me slipping. Like, I'm firm. But I think that's how it works. It's like they get you to agree, oh, just one more thing, just one more thing. You already agreed to this. You might as well do this. And it's like, when does it stop? When do we put our foot
Yeah.
down?
It's nice to see you so turned up.
Yeah, because it's everywhere. And
Yeah, it is.
But I'm turned up because I see the reality.
Yes.
And I see the value of myself. I see
Yes.
what has happened to us. I see the potential. And I see what's required for me to get to that potential, which is one of the next ideas I wanted to get into, which is
Well, before you do,
light
so
body.
you answered your question.
I
What
did.
do we have to
What'd I
do?
say? I don't know. I'm just flowing. I'm flowing.
What do we have to do to make that stop is we have to get turned up and see what actually is happening when people are requesting you to agree. Like, agree. You want that 10% discount. Agree to terms and conditions. Give us your phone number. Allow us to take over your camera. Let us open your locations. This is you being pieced apart. And all of that is your energy. It is not nothing. It is
Yeah.
something. Otherwise, they wouldn't ask for it. If they're asking, it's something. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was something, but now that I see you asking, I realize I have that value.
Yeah, this is so deep because we've been for a long time, humans have been participating unknowingly that there's a whole nother layer of reality
Yes.
that these corporations and institutions
Yes.
are aware of. So there was an interview I was watching about a woman who rejected a contract with a tech company, and because they had this contract called like the billion-year contract agreement, and apparently it was literally billion years because the corporation believed in reincarnation and like, no, we want you forever. Like, so when you in the contract it listed that when you come back in you're gonna make your way back to us. And I thought it was so insidious, but for me it was more evidence, unwaveringly clear that there are people knowingly doing this,
Oh, absolutely.
and more of the general populace becoming aware of this.
The more people on the surface who are saying, I don't believe in anything, I don't believe in magic, the more the people underneath it are saying, tell them don't believe in it.
While we do it
Yeah.
and subjugate you
Yeah, tell them
and use you against you.
it's against their religion. Tell them Jesus don't want them, while we, the whole world is run by unseen forces. Your word is something your vows, your agreements, the things you sign, the contracts are real, and they can be, you can imprison yourself in something that will keep recycling you. That is a real thing. In fact, that's how the reincarnational
Yeah,
cycle
this
works.
thing is already happening. It's
That's
already
that's
tapped
how it
into the
works. They
subscription.
don't have to go get new souls. We just reincarnate, come right back through.
This damn Netflix. Like reincarnation. Okay.
So these are laws and principles used against us.
Yes.
These are, and so again, the way that you stop it is you wake up and pay attention to what's happening around you. You know, you get out of the Chick-fil-A line. Like, get out of that,
Yeah.
pull your car out.
So
Yeah.
I want to speak a little bit on the divine masculine, but then also go into the idea of light body and
Yes.
how this changing of our identity or accepting who and what we are and removing the overlay is necessary to work our way out of the gravitational pull of darkness. So we have been receiving communications from divine masculine, and within the unified wholeness of masculine and feminine, we understand that the feminine contains the vision. Like, do this. This is what we're going to do. This is the plan. And then the masculine moves on it. So I'm seeing where, and this is what I have seen within my experience, but also others. I can see where, first off, we got a jacked up relationship with the feminine. We know the feminine in general has been suppressed, but we have not really seen the divine aspect of the feminine. And if we have, it's like little sparks and fleeting. And then the masculine, we all jacked up, both male and female, with masculinity and really don't have any reference outside, for me, outside of the sun, that shows us what the masculine is supposed to be doing. And so I have been looking at how humanity, the position we find ourselves in, is partly because we don't have a good relationship with those energies which we are composed of, creation, and how that masculine component helps us move forward on, okay, let me separate, let me take action. I've received the vision, I've received the knowledge, I've received the understanding, the download, so to say. Let me now go take action on that. Let me move forward. What are your thoughts on this when I say these things?
I was thinking so many things. Like, if we only understood that we were the child of Creator. Like, we all say that. All the religions say that, you know, you're a child of God. But if you actually thought that and realized that what that means is the idea of creation is the two polarities, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and we all contain both at varying levels on a sliding scale depending on what that soul
Yeah.
is doing. One of the easy identifying, very simplistic ways to show it is the idea of the feminine being the idea. Like, I know what I want a house to have. I know what's needed for the children. I know what's needed in the areas where I have supervision, whatever that is, whatever I'm going to be doing. And then the masculine's like, all right, I'll get my team together and we'll build a house. That's not to say women can't be carpenters. It's not to say men can't dream. But that is an easy way to see how
Yeah, I agree.
how that works. And it's very similar to the sun giving direction to the earth, and then the earth grows from her resources, the plants. These are easy ways to get that concept. What I think happens often is because we don't honor and revere that. We've actually been taught by religion not to honor and revere anything natural. Like, you know, kill all the people who are growing quinoa in Peru because they worship the quinoa because they are so grateful and so reverential. That the history is that the conquistadors said, cut off the hands of anybody found with that. Let them plant corn. And when they plant corn, then people started to have birth defects. But the quinoa had all the elements for living in the high altitudes on the plateaus so that they could have what they needed, even the fact that the quinoa was slightly poisonous so birds wouldn't eat it, the seeds. So all they had to do is wash it off, and then they could eat it, and then they could use it when they had a broken bone. Or they could use it as food for the entire year, and it didn't take much space. So these kinds of religion has said, no, you are worshiping idols. Don't do that. If you worship the sun, or if you are thankful to the air, or if you know, are happy that you've got water and fish and all of these things. So we've been taught to hate creation.
Yeah.
We are creation.
So we hate ourselves.
Yes. And so this is where that stems from. So there has to be this respect and reverence for every creeping, crawling, furry, flying thing. And those of us who walk, you know. And we don't have that. We think that each other, that we're nothing.
Yeah.
And so cultivating the respect and the reverence for the exquisiteness of our experience in creation that we are in charge of. You inside your own head are in charge of your experience. You don't have to have another person. You don't need a twin flame to tell you what your experience is. Although if you want one, you're fine to get one. You don't have to have, you know, a community with you to identify with you who you are. It starts first internally, and then you get the community, and then you get the twin flame, and then you get the partner, and then you have all of that. But it's people are having fragmented and undigested, unhappy experiences because they're trying to put the cart, so to say, before the horse.
Most certainly.
Because you must love you
outsourcing.
if you would like to experience love coming to you. You have to have a certain amount of, I love and respect myself. My frequency excludes it. You know, is all over it's all over me. It's all over where I live. It's all over all the conversations I'm having. If you are attracted to that level of stability, come. If that is insulting to you, go.
Take your high knee down the street.
Yeah. So, but it begins with that.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So it's all internal. It's all self. I think that these are very core concepts that, at some level, I think most of us have, like you said, ballpark understandings. But I think that life is called. Not. I think. Excuse me. I see life is calling for embodiment. Life is calling for apply what you say you know. Apply this theoretical. If you know, like just like you said, I'm a child of God. What is God? What is God? And you know, and making sure that our understanding of what that is adjusted, where we're not putting something above us. Long ago, when I first met you through DNA activation, you shared with me humanity slipped up. I'm paraphrasing, but humanity slipped up when we began to see someone else outside of us as greater than us. And throughout the years, I have been deprogramming myself to accept I am source inside of me. Like I'm not like source, but I'm source. It's so paradoxical. It's like you're the individual, but you're the whole,
You're
and
the
it's all
fractal,
running
you're
through
the
you.
hologram, you're the fractal, you're the hologram. There's no getting away from the baby is the parent.
Yeah, but again, we have some level of cognitive dissonance or some type of fragmentation or compartmentalization of it applies here, but it don't apply there.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And the idea that we were so willing, you know, we have a president, there's a king, there's a queen, and you know, people are always saying, I'm a queen, and like, you're referencing the king by saying you're the queen. You know, you don't need to reference the king to be somebody. You can reference I am without referencing, well, I'm the queen, because then automatically I think, well, where's the king? You know, so they're constantly reference something that's greater than them without even saying it because of the way the hierarchy works.
Yeah, see, and then even that system, somebody has to be on the bottom.
Somebody has to be second, somebody has to be first.
Yeah, and so these systems that we keep participating in, it directly goes against creation.
Yes, it does.
I was sharing with you, like, there's no like innate hierarchies in nature.
Right.
Stuff's happening, you know, and there are systems of order and structure. Like, so for example, when I think about the bees, they say the queen bee, but like, why can't it just be the mother?
Yeah, did the bee
like,
say that?
No, but we have
That's
overlaid
my
our
point.
perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bee didn't say I'm the queen.
And I know they ain't talking to the bees. I just know it.
The bee didn't say that. humanity's interpretation, which still leaves like, where's the king? There's still that implication because that's how those kinds of structures work. But it doesn't have to be that way, and everything doesn't have to be interpreted through the lens of, well, he's the top dog and he's not. And even when we look in nature, we see the lion and we see the lioness, they are different. They have different purposes. But I have seen a lioness slap the hell out of a lion, messing with the baby.
Yeah, like I done had enough of your lion stuff.
So the point being is that is also on the sliding scale of both polarities, and when necessary, the part that needs to be aggressive is aggressive, and the part that needs to be mothering is mothering. And there, in humanity, there is womb man and there is man. Those are two different things, but that doesn't mean that womb man won't build that house.
Let's talk about that a little bit, and then I'd like us to get into the idea of how filling ourselves up literally with the light can be a solution. Well,
Yes.
I mean, that's what it says on the card. I want to talk about like embodiment, like practical, like really pulling it in, because that's what's happening. So it's very interesting because our perception of masculine and feminine, again, we're distorted, and the more I commune with these consciousness, again, the divine feminine and divine masculine, I always hear these consciousness speak from the perspective of we. It's not like a singular. It's such an interesting
Yes.
thing. Such an interesting thing
I'm
because
so
they
glad you
don't
said that.
engage or these forms of consciousness don't perceive reality in the same way we do. So that lets me know we
Yes.
already off base.
I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
speak
Yes,
to
yes,
that.
go ahead. Yeah.
So we are operating in separation where we think and we justify it because of the way the world is, and it is right now in the masculine dominance. Then women think, well, you can't speak for me because you are masculine. But that's because the separation is so deeply embedded in the person that they don't see that we are both. Gender is law, and it is two polarities of the same idea of creation. So if I want to slide over and talk to the divine masculine, I can. And if I want to slide over and talk to the divine feminine, I can. And even that is so cloaked because people listen to channeled information, which we don't do. We do transmissions, which is different. But the channeled information, you don't walk up to Abraham Hicks and say, well, you can't talk about men because you're a woman, even though your name is Abraham and you're coming through. So you're a woman.
Yeah,
You're a woman saying you're channeling Abraham, but that's not correct because you can't do that because of the law of separation. Like, how dare you speak?
you leave that to a man. You leave that to someone who's fit for the name Abraham, okay? Yo, we are
But
jacked
that's
up.
because we are in separation and we are confused.
Yeah.
And so that level of confusion is very deep and has been plugged in since infancy. And so we feel that because women have been subjugated, we forget, and dramatically so, we forget that our sons and our boys have been subjugated too.
Yeah, no one's winning from this
Yeah, and
patriarchal society.
And that
even if they
level
think
of
they are.
separation does not allow us to heal that. I have sons.
Yeah.
I know. I can speak. Just because you're a womb man doesn't mean you're not a warrior.
See, and
know.
this is why I brought this up, because the more I engage with these consciousness and accept more of who I am, I can see the slide. I can see when I must lean into my feminine. I must lean into my masculine, although my physicality is predominantly the representation
And
of
it's
masculine.
not to be done in detriment. It's not where you are in the service of something that is detrimental to, that subjugates you in any way. That's not in service to you as a human being, as an elevated human being who deserves to be acknowledged.
Yes.
And so, the idea of separation is so intensely integrated that people don't realize that they're campaigning for separation. Like,
It's so deep.
no, you can't talk for me because I'm separate from you. But in point of fact, we are all subjugated under a dark system that is killing all of us. The same chemtrails that I breathe in are the same chemtrails that people who are not womb man breathe in. So we're all being subjugated. So we can speak the truth if we call for the truth. And we call for the truth. We can be the truth enough to speak for the truth.
This is a beautiful understanding. It's screaming, become whole. Allow yourself to integrate and reconcile. Some of the meditations we started releasing some of this in Light Body from the of the Send Inner Circle, the divine feminine and divine masculine reconciliation meditations, where we have to heal, like actually talk to the feminine within us, talk to the masculine. Because again, I see it across the board. Women are just as jacked up with the feminine, even though we may call ourselves queens and empress and stuff. There's
And,
still like
and that's a lovely
a
attempt.
trauma.
That's a lovely attempt to elevate yourself. To be honored.
Yeah.
It's to be honored that you want to see. But all right, now take the next step. Move into thinking the thought that gets you more respect. We have to choose truth over trauma. Often we're choosing trauma,
Yeah.
or we're choosing to hate a system, like I hate money, or I hate people who are rich. And we're making a huge error in understanding that now you have really separated yourself from the prosperity and abundance that comes along with that energy pattern. That you would be better off to not be in the thought of hating anything, but to embrace it enough to have some of it.
This is so interesting because it again speaks to the oneness. And I'm trying to bring back this concept. You've said it before, like you become the thing you hate.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
you hate it, and then it's like
you hate money, so you become lack.
yeah.
You become scarcity. You become not being able to find a way to get what you want.
Yeah.
Because you have spent so much time in dissonance with that which would change the reason for the dissonance.
It's so deep.
It's just like, hating a person who mistreated you, and now you're tied to them for the rest of your life on your deathbed. He shouldn't have done that to me. It's like you've had 40 years in between where you could have been thinking of something else and could have elevated yourself out of it, but you tie yourself inextricably to the thing that you are in dissonance with, and that then becomes who you are. It has taken over your personality. So for you to avoid scarcity, for you to avoid lack, for you to avoid poverty, poverty isn't how you think about riches. Your poverty is directly connected to how you think about wealth.
It's fascinating. So again, fragmentation got us jacked up. We're doing the opposite of what we think we're doing. So by way of not knowing who we are. So this kind of somewhat segues us into the next idea, at least a point that you made earlier in the last part of the convo. So light, we're in light body, and this pursuit of activating the base 7 centers. We recognize that this is technology, and this is this whole shifting your perception of who and what you are. Bring that that multidimensional aspect of yourself to the forefront. Feel the light, feel the activations when you're going about your day, when you're at the computer, when you're on the phone with a client or with your family. Notice that, and from multiple stances. Notice when something has plugged into your solar plexus or your heart. Notice when somebody's pulling on you because of your toxic compassion, so which are different ways in which, we feel like we're attacked. This is all a call to the energetic protection class, soul translation, reclaim your sovereignty, and these themes, but also the greater circumstance we find in the world. So I digress. The point is, would you speak a little more succinctly about how light can, like the visceral pulling in light into the energy centers, can course correct behavior, and even more so help us with taking the action that's needed on the insights that we receive.
You know, and light body has been cultivated and designed in such a way that if you actually pay attention in light body and you do the activation, you read the words, and you open your hands so you can receive something else. So most of us have gone through life with erroneous teachings and misaligned understandings, and our condition will show it to us. If you're beautiful, healthy, and wealthy, your condition is showing you something else. But if you're having any issues in any of those areas, that shows you there must be something about the way I'm thinking. So often that is the programming we have received through whatever it is that we have been doing, whatever educational systems we have been part of. So if you come into light body and you don't open your hands to receive, then you get to keep what has kept you in dissidence and in varying levels of pain and suffering. So light body is specifically designed that if you want this and you pay attention, you make the sacrifice. So magic can happen. You've made the sacrifice, $45 a month. You believe that it can happen. That's the second thing. You affirm that it is happening, and you're doing the affirmations and doing the materials that you are encouraged the materials to read, to see, to understand deeper. Yeah. And you're in the activity of it, magic can happen. And it is happening. People are glowing in that class. The ones who have opened their hands and the ones who have kept their hands closed because they think they already know everything, they get to keep what they already know. Sometimes you and I both hear people in class that saying, I already know this. I'm thinking, but you don't. So we can hear in the thoughts of those who are coming who are not yet ready to have more, who are holding on to erroneous concepts about who they are that don't support their reality. And so if you're ready for your reality to expand and become better, wherever you are in your levels of greatness, there's room.
Yeah, always.
There's room for more
always.
greatness. There's room for more elevation. There's room for more truth. There's room for more glory. And Light Body is designed for that. We encourage everyone to join Light Body. It's an hour and a half once a week with a textbook every week with innovative, creative, and new, fresh ideas given to you in a digestible way. Yeah. We even have a tutor for it. So it's really, that's one way. And in that material are ways for you to actually detox, because you have to detox. You have to make room for the light.
That part.
You have to move those hot dogs out, and those French fries, and all those brown party liquor drinks. You have to detox so that you can make room for the light, and we tell you how to do that there. Well, and then we teach you how to speak to the light so that it comes into you, and it is not only, it's verifiable, but it's not only verifiable individually. People in the class are talking about how people outside of them were saying, whoa, I can see you glowing, So we have the solution to that. It's not a 2-second conversation, but it is come to Light Body.
But because again, the reality is that there has to be some level of engagement with these concepts that are practical, in where there is a realization of the change, yes, where you literally feel your light. Yes. Because again, we were talking about changing your identity. It's hard to say that I am a child of the sun or, creation, when you cannot feel your light. So you gotta do things to bring light in, so you can then I feel,
and then somebody said, ooh,
right?
I have clients saying, people keep coming up to me telling me about my light load. I'm like, expect more of that.
That's right. And I feel like this is part of the collective mission. Somebody asked me in the Akashic record reading, what's my purpose? And it's always a funny thing, because if there are beings who are coming forth to assist with translating the records, they don't never tell them directly like, okay, step one, step two, you know, because however, I don't want to go too deep into it, but the point is that what came up in it was it it was like the micro within the macro. Your purpose is everyone's purpose, or at least those souls who came here for the objective of broadcasting light into the field to dispel the darkness. Like who and what you are and what your broadcast is in and of itself transforms the field. And are you doing it?
Yeah.
Are you shining bright enough? And she was like, damn, she started taking notes like
And sometimes that looks like disobedience. Sometimes that looks like, no, I won't do that. No, I'm not going to buy that. No, I'm not going to eat that. No, you can't make me. I will breathe with my skin. You know,
that's right.
I will eat from the sun.
That's right.
You know, sometimes I will stand on the earth and be correct. You know, the technology is meant for the planet, not for necessarily the advertisers.
Somebody knows something we don't know. We got to know ourselves.
And as we hope that in our humor and our delivery, that this awakens within you some of the ideas about who you are and what you are capable of and how everybody else knows and is trying to get a piece of you. And they have convinced you that there's scarcity. They've convinced you that there's poverty. They've convinced you that you're powerless. It's just not true. But there is a lot of infrastructure around it that has to be dismantled.
It is. So this is so good. So how about we go to a quick commercial break? So stick with us. We got a lot of comments. A lot of people are saying things here. And we're looking forward to going back over those comments. So stick with us. We're going to play a quick commercial from our sponsor, Aluka Inc., our friend Alex in Dubai, our ally in Dubai. He's all right. He made it. I'm sure y'all heard about Dubai.
Yeah, he's good.
in the East. So we're going to play this. This will be about 40 seconds or so, and we'll come back to the comments.
So, what does the future of money look like to you, Alex?
The future of money won't be about what we use.
So, what does the future of money look like to you, Alex?
The future of money won't be about what we use. It'll be about who we trust. We're heading into a world where money is no longer paper. It's data. Central bank, digital currencies, programmable payments, and surveillance systems will redefine how value moves. But here's the twist. The more digital it gets, the more people will crave something real. That's why gold and silver aren't disappearing. They're becoming the anchor in a world of floating code. Money will evolve technologically, but it will always revolve.
I don't know what just happened, but it looks like it stopped. However,
we got the idea.
Yeah, look, for anybody who's interested in investing your monies into tangible goods, visit alukainc.com. Reach out to Alex. There's a phone number, there's an email, and what his business represents is what we're about. You know, the idea of get back to what's real. The system that we're in is so artificial. We've been tricked. You know, the fiat currency is not real. We're about to be in inception layers deeper into the matrix with cryptocurrency. It's still not real. It's numbers on a screen that can be easily removed. Gold, silver, you can't say the same for that. You know, so he does have a gold refinery in Dubai. We've been watching this guy and his process. It's been a joy to see him, like literally, like almost from nothing, and then bounce all the way to the top and continue to grow. You know, so again, for anyone who's interested in that, and also assets protection and wealth management, you can visit the website. You have any thoughts on Alex or our sponsor?
He's safe in Dubai.
He is.
He's safe.
He is. He is unbothered.
And he is getting cleared all the time. His path is clear.
I love it. I love it. And this is what it's about. You know, when we're seeing things, don't be pulled into the fear. They're like, hey, look over here. Give me. They need us.
Not Alex.
They need us. Yeah. Man, I'm busy. Man. I'm living. Shout out to Alex. Honor, respect, and gratitude to you, Alex. So let's go through some of these comments here. Yeah. I'm gonna scroll back all the way up to the top. So just in general, and Lakesh, to everyone, oneness and truth to you all who are joining us in this conversation, sticking with us because clearly it resonates to you. We're glad to hear that you found some value from this. And we got, let's see here. Shaka Warrior says, maintain inner clarity amidst global noise. In an age of consent, information, and uncertainty, I'm going to show this on the screen. Elevation comes from cultivating calm awareness rather than reacting to every external stimulus. That's what we just
Absolutely.
said.
Do not get caught up. Do not let them, your attention is your energy.
Yeah.
You know, you get too caught up, you're feeding the loosh, you're feeding the harvesting of the humanity's energy in this spectacle. This is a spectacle to harvest energy. Just touch in and come out.
Yeah. And I know you all feel it too. I'm just to share a little experience. I know like there's been times where I go in, I'm scrolling, I'm looking, and I can feel it try to, come on, feel some type of way. Feel some type. And then the comments, because most of them are bots, and they're trying to stir up the rage and the anger and the frustration. And
Yeah,
the
like
fear.
get emotional, be afraid,
No,
be
nope.
afraid, be
Go
scared.
up. I'm like, nope, let me go up. Let me go up. Let me stay up while I'm engaging with this. Let's keep going, because I'm a little turned, because I'm fasting, y'all. I gotta get higher into the light. Sherelle's in the house. In Lakesh Veritas, Sherelle, peace and blessings. Yusef's here. In Lakesh Veritas, thank you. Always bringing truth and shining the light. You're welcome. Shaka Warrior is back. She says, we have to recognize the collective moment. Chaotic periods often signal global transitions, inviting humanity to reflect, evolve, and realign with deeper values.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, Shaka, we are in that space, and it's we often talk about how, and I think you were just mentioning this at the tail end of the last class. It is so important to examine your life.
Yeah.
Your life is worth examining.
And your life is what you think. It's manifested.
I was like, all right, you just mic drop on me. He's like,
It is the realized thoughts that are secret, hidden, invisible, undetectable, and conscious, and the unconscious. Your life is that. So when you open your eyes and you look at your life, you can make the adjustments because you made the scaffolding, you made the backdrops, you made the costumes, you're the actors. Yeah. So
yeah.
So it's good to not be overwhelmed by your creation. You know.
It's such a powerful perspective to have. I could, just hearing you say it, it's like, yes, like, you know, and the necessity for us to take that position. We got a bunch of people in the comments saying, turn up, T. Cannabis Nurse Laura, turn up, T. Gina says, turn all the way up, Tavares. Yes, I see they enjoy and value the turn up. I am pleased to turn up. May my light spark your light. CC Tree in the house on the Catch and Veritas. Gina, she says, my bad for the spelling. It's okay, Gina. The intention is there. It's all good. I appreciate you. Cannabis Lurse Noah, she says, apply what you say and know. Choose truth over trauma. So it looks like that was landing for her.
Yeah. Truth over trauma.
Yeah. Shaka Warrior's back around again. She says, when consciousness is reactive, people are pulled into fear, division, and confusion. When consciousness is elevated, we are able to observe what's happening in the world without being consumed by it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's you know, we talked about how it's not appropriate for us to be like an ostrich with our head in the sand. You know, it's like you gotta know, but the balance that I've seen others where like, I don't want to hear nothing about that.
No, we have to know what's going on.
It's like a willful ignorance, which is, it's dark, you know.
You are not allowed to pretend that you are not part of the world that you have joined. Because then,
I feel like you keep mic dropping, you dropping the mic. It's like, yeah, pick up the mic. Here you go. Finish that thought.
you have willfully arrived here in participation of whatever you're in participation in this world. And yes, you need to know in general what's going on. No, you don't need to be in the blow by blow and follow each episode.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
the
need to
trap.
be at the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know,
how
which
they
is
get you.
every day. There's a
I'm telling you,
cliffhanger.
It's like a Netflix show. Say, ooh, I gotta watch the next episode. I gotta see what's happening.
And I'm from a generation where people were news addicts. Where they came home from work, they sat down and the news came on, and until the news went off, that's all they did.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next thing that was served up to them. But that is not the time we live in. The news is not the truth. What you need to do is get a general sense of what's going on and then understand it through the lens of truth. This is a spectacle. This
Truly.
is not the truth. This is something to rear up emotions that can be harvested and used against you. Don't put your emotions in the pot. Sit back, like, I see what you're doing. You know, that three-dimensional chess. Well, I'll just move a piece right here and turn my head the other way. You know, be a participant, don't be a victim.
Yeah. All right, we got some more comments from Russ. He says, we need light in a bottle to sell. He put a bunch of laughing emojis. I bet he does.
No, Russ, we got it in the sky. We don't even need it in a bottle.
Go outside.
Open up the blinds.
I see you, Russ, with this bottle in it. Label it up. Like,
It's in commerce.
yeah, right. I was like, I see you. Russ is about the money. Let me tell you, Russ, he's money making, money minding.
I see this is a good idea. This light thing.
Yeah. But you know, I think if we can treat, I'll put it like this, because this is something that I've been adopting, treating light, earth, air as like, ooh, let me take my dose.
Yeah.
Let me get my fix today.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, did I get 3 servings today?
Yes.
You know, and I think it's an appropriate perspective, especially when we're inundated with, we actually need it to offset.
Well,
the reality
and
we're
he's
in.
actually telling the truth. Russ uses the frequency waters.
I mean, that's practically
Which is light in a bottle. It is actually light, and so he uses it, and he's thinking of it from that point because it has served him, and he knows that you can spray the frequency water, and light will it will eliminate whatever the darkness, the pain, whatever it is. He already knows that, so it's very interesting because he's saying it. We're making it funny, but the reality is that we do sell light in a bottle. You know, so it's a real thing.
Yeah. All right, so get you some vibration. All right, thank you, Russ. Cannabis Nurse Laura. Amen. In Lakesh, disobedience, enlighten rebel. So I have been talking with Lauta about something within me that I've been addressing, rebellion. Without being too long-winded, I recognize that in the past lives of cataclysms on the earth plane that took place where our interfacing with off-world beings and, you know, this whole planetary takeover happened, I did something that wasn't appropriate. And so I'm rectifying it. And I see in my rectification, I can see not only within myself, but pretty much all of humanity, a rebellion towards the divine will, a rebellion to honor the voice or the vision of the feminine, a rebellion even to take action from the impulse of the divine masculine to do what creation intended us to do, which is us. You know, we're part of it. We're not separate from it. And so shout out to what Laura was saying, enlighten rebellion, you know, just like what you were saying earlier, say no to what they're saying on the TV, on the social media. You know what? Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Rebel for the light, rebel for creation.
I will not join you in your defiance to be less than you are, in your rebellion.
Damn, that's hot. That's like, yeah, I'm with that.
I will not join you in your defiance
Write that down.
to be greater. No. I get that we all did something.
Yeah.
A lot of something.
Yeah, a lot. Like multiple lives. We were on a subscription of negative lifetimes.
However, I would encourage you, if you're in close quarters with someone you work with or someone that is your family or someone that you're intimate with, like let them know, like, and I have done this, like we might get together, but let me tell you right now, I will not join you in your defiance to be great. I might leave you if you define yourself to be great.
As a matter of
You know,
fact, you have. Watch it. Oh, damn, they staying in the Lord's self. Oh, look at her. She's going up. She's like, never mind.
the negative never comes from above. It only comes from below.
That's so true.
It only comes from those who are in defiance to be their greatest. They won't, I'm refusing to be great. So now you have relegated yourself to a level that's below where I'm going to be. Not because of hierarchy, but because you're choosing to not be who you are, which automatically puts you in shadow, which is beneath sun. I mean,
The perspective is, it's so on point. Visually, when you use that reference, it's literal and symbolic.
you can talk to, if you can talk to your children that way, I'm not joining you in your defiance to not be greater. I have said to my children, you're greater than this.
It's that
And
type
I
of
happen
talk.
to know.
It's that type of talk that I have you pause, like, oh, damn, mama, she's not mad at me, but like, oh my gosh, you see my potential. It make you start questioning yourself. It's a very powerful technique.
Yeah, that's a mama move.
That's right.
That's a mama move.
I'm gonna have to use that on a client or two. I know you're greater than this. Come on now. I am. You're right. All right, we got a couple of more comments. I almost feel like the comments keep rolling in because I keep looking. I'm like, oh, there's more. All right, so Gina says, I definitely need to get more of the get right light in my life. Light body movement is delightful. Thank you, Gina. Stephanie Singletary, it looks like she has a quote. It's good to not be overwhelmed by your creation. Lao Tzu of the Sun. That's a great way to keep things in perspective.
Thank you, Stephanie.
This is one of our last comments here, Leonidi. Guys, I just saw some random money, like totally wasn't expecting it. But for me, this is the moment where I'm seeing results from doing the practices and changing my thinking.
Open your hands, change
Yeah.
your thinking, and then you will have what you need as you think of it. It's really how big is your consciousness. When you are around of the sun, we are more expansive and we are in abundance and prosperity in its many. Sometimes it's a meal. Sometimes it's, the grass is getting greener. I feel so abundant. Yeah. Maybe the goats will come visit us. That's the abundance and prosperity. We are in that space. The frequency is contagious. Get you some of that. Poverty is not about money. Poverty is about how you view everything. Every single thing and every person in your life. So the abundance is in what potential can you see? Ooh, look at you, how rich your future looks,
Yeah, very powerful perspective. So I think this is a solid place to end our podcast. And again, just want to thank everybody for joining us in the live stream. Had a really good time with you today, Lauta, as well as the group who joined us in the comments. Thank you all for your comments. And also, just a quick little reminder. So today, we're doing energetic protection and defense. If you're looking to join in, it's your first time, you can subscribe on the website. If you're auditing, just shoot us an email. You want to get that audit price, we'll send you an invoice. And Quantum Light Property Clearing is next month. So if you're looking to join to learn how to clear properties, or if you want an audit, join us in the expansion.
We thank you so much for joining us today. And we would like to extend to you in Lakesh and Veritas oneness and truth with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. Thank you.